What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So, not too long ago, I uploaded a video of me doing a specific farm solo in WoD, and a lot of you guys also did that solo, and you made a ton of gold. I'm talking about the Spires of Arak farm at the Howling Crag, where majority of the people made gold on the auction house parts, but some people even got some big sales on transmog. So that's why I wanted to feature this farm as well. Haven't done it solo yet, but I will do it. Right now, we did it in a 5-man group, but it's kind of like the same principle as the previous farm. So the majority of the steady gold you're going to make comes from auction house parts. Now, in order to get the auction house parts, you need to have the level 2 trading post in your garrison. That's it. Now, the follow-up question is always, student, what is the auction house parts? Well, it is possible to get a fully functioning auction house in your garrison, but in order to do so, you're going to need like a bunch of auction house parts, like basically items to hand in, and you can then build the auction house in your garrison. Now, people are too lazy to go and buy or to go and farm these items, so they just straight up buy them on the auction house, and that's where we make a ton of gold. So before we go into the specifics, I do want to mention and say a big thank you to everyone that has already copped like one of the books. The 0 to 10 million gold guide in specific has been really hot right now. So big thank you to all the positive feedback on that. If you haven't grabbed it yet, it's basically a step-by-step gold guide that will teach you how to go from 0 gold and all the way up to gold cap many times over. So the best part about this book is the fact that I've updated the book for 2 years now, making the book as good as possible, and that's not going to stop. So the people that have already bought the book, or if you're planning on buying the book now, you don't have to worry about the book being outdated. Like, I'm just going to give you like free updates for life. So when Dragonflight comes out, I'm going to update it for Dragonflight and so on. So you can find it linked down below in the description and the pinned comments, where you guys can also read more about it. So this location takes place right up here in Talador. Some of you guys have probably seen it on my live stream or seen previous videos on it. So these auction house parts that I'm talking about are these. And there's different auction house parts dropping in different zones, right? Some of them are even from raids. But on this farm, like, since this is in Talador, as you can see, the items needed to craft this module can drop in Shadowmoon Valley, Talador, or Nagrand, right? And then you have different auction house parts dropping in the other zones. You have some dropping in raids, and so on. So basically, once you head over to this location, you will see a lot of these orcs. Like, there's a ton of these mobs, which is why I'm not too worried about doing this specific farm, like, solo for my How Good Is It solo series. But we did it in a group, and normally when we do this farm, we just stand at specific locations, we kill mobs for 20 minutes, and then we all fly around and loot the mobs. Now, why would we do that? It's pretty much because if a mob drops a blue item or an epic item, it won't despawn for half an hour. So we use this farm as a way of getting like very expensive WoD, blue, and epic items. However, with the increase of sales of auction house parts, we decided to instead do a constant killing and looting so we could get the auction house parts, and it's really good, right? We did this with 5 druids, all druids having a speed set. And the first farm, the first time we did this, was only a 30-minute duration. And as you guys can see, like, there was like 29.5 minutes, and we managed to get 3 different epics from this farm. Now, the second time we did it for a full hour, and we only got 2 epics. So that was really unlucky, because the last epic dropped like the last minute as well of the full hour. But still, there is the potential of getting epics, and there's the potential of getting some really good epics, where the best one is the Blackrock Bulwark. This bad boy right here has a market value of over 1 million gold. Now, this is where most people are going to be like, "Dude, no one is going to buy that because it looks like the Black Temple shield." And it kind of does. It's the same module, but it has completely different color schemes on it. And it also has a different item ID. So collectors, they need to get both of them if they want to collect it all. And people would rather have this one for MOG purposes than the one from Black Temple. I mean, that's kind of individual, but most people do. So yeah, I've sold this bad boy myself a couple of times. Never for 1 million. The highest like 700k, the lowest like 400k. But it's a very good item, and that's just one of the items. There's tons of epics worth a lot of gold. So how much gold can you expect to make? Well, I'm like the perfect example of how much you can realistically expect to make, because I didn't get shit when it comes to epics. Didn't get anyone this time. However, I did get one blue item. It's not a particularly good one. The green items and the blue items are very bad from this farm compared to the Spires of Arak farm at the Crawling Hag. However, this farm can drop epics and Spires of Arak can't drop epics. But you will make a fortune, just like the Spires of Arak farm, on the auction house items alone. So it was a good thing that I did this farm, because I was actually sold out of the super cooling modules. So as you guys can see, last sold 24 days ago. Same thing goes for the individual parts, also 24 days ago, where I sold it for 23,000 gold. Now, I got enough mats to fully craft 3 of these, but like, if I would have received the correct ones, I would have had another almost 3 of them. So the highest guy was able to craft 8 of these after an hour of farming. Now, even at like just the region sales average price, 8 of those bad boys is like, what, 120,000 gold in 1 hour in steady sales? On my realm, if I were to sell them for less than I did last time, like these plus the individual parts, I would still make 100,000 gold. Now, before you laugh at this, please look at the statistics. The numbers don't lie. Look at the sell rate of these items. And please, do me a favor and go and try to farm out. Combine all of the parts into the modules, put them on the auction house, and you will be extremely surprised of how well they sell. It's absolutely insane, and it's making me a ton of gold right now. I'm also making a shit ton of gold on WoD the Transmog these days, which I've talked about many times, and that is mainly because there's not a lot of people farming WoD the Transmog. However, on this farm, you can only really expect to make a decent amount of gold on Transmog if you get the epics, though. The rest is bullshit. It really is. But it's a nice thing to know that there's a relatively decent chance of getting an epic while doing this farm. So if you guys want to see the results that I'm getting when I farm this solo rather than a group, then just make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, because I am doing this series on YouTube where I'm pretty much doing every single group farm solo to kind of see and compare if it's worth doing solo. And spoiler alert, most of them are actually worth doing solo if you have to. But that's it for today's video, so thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the 0 to 10 million gold guide link down below, and I will see all of you back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye-bye.